let's get started with a little recap since this is a little part two of the one shot. It won't be too long, but y'all were approached after drinking together in the Greedy Tankard. Y'all were approached by Ryan Beauregard, who has a very high voice and a small head. It's kind of off putting a little bit, but that's okay. And he told you about how he's running for mayor, and the current mayor, Seymour Bronse, has kind of a suave personality, but there's a lot of, you know, dark sides to him apparently. And as you all discovered, you know a good amount of those dark sides. You all went to his house, talked to a guy who all of his fish heads kept getting stolen. Poor guy.
Mm.
And then you went to uh, a brothel, and Gengen Senior saved a woman sprinting down the hallways. I just still have that image in my head. Absolutely hilarious. Such a high roll. Um, but after finding that, the visits to Seymour Bronce's house are kind of kept not on the records due to some shadowy underground group. You all then, after discovering the device or the pearl that Kingsley stole off of Ryan, Beauregard is a listening device or like a voice recording device. You got another one and decided to sneak into Seymour Bronce's house, his little mansion, his stone mansion in this very wooden town. And Gengen Senior was keeping watch. Kingsley and TW were able to get in and find the house very bare and somewhat dusty around. It seems not very lived in. It's very odd. There were guards on the outside, but right at the very end, we discovered, or I'll say Kingsley and TW opened up a closet that they could hear, just barely hearing some noises behind it. They opened and they could hear all of a sudden just all of this chatter from all of these listening devices. There's, dozens and dozens of listening devices within this closet, seemingly the other half of listening devices, and various conversations all around. Uh, you can only imagine all around the settlement of Bow. So that is where we left off. But the dramatic point is, Kingsley and TW are trying to get out, and they look out the window to look down to where Gengen Senior was keeping watch, and they do not see him. So we're going to start off with you, Gengen Senior. I'll say
Oh, hello.
you're vibing, you're chilling,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
your greedy tankard mates, your teammates have gone up a rope up to the top, or have climbed the wall, I'll say, and boosted up by you. And
Big Guggen.
oh no, yeah, there was a rope that Kingsley provided down. I remember that
Mm-hmm.
after
Mm-hmm.
deceiving his way into the mansion past some guards. You're chilling there for a little bit. I'll say maybe 10, 15 minutes. And you said as to them as they were leaving that if you ever saw Seymour Bronse come back at any point, that you would try and stop him. And it just so happens that you're kind of chilling there. You see, and you're looking to the left and right, and you look over to the front, you know, the front road in front of where this mansion is after the big front yard which is fenced in. You start to see Seymour Bronce's carriage, which left only but an hour ago, starts to head back. You see just the front of it, and it's kind of just trotting along. You're probably about, I'd say, 50 to 100 feet away. Well, I'll say, where would you want to position yourself? Would you just stay under the window if you were trying to watch for,
I think
Seymour Bronze to be on the
I
way? What
think
would
I
you
would
do?
I think I would try to position myself in front of the gate. Like once they left, I would
Mm-hmm.
leave the window.
Okay. And so,
around
would you
my
say you're just
position.
chilling in front of the gate?
Yep, that's where
Then
I'm
I
at.
would say you would see them much further down the road. You would see as you're looking out for, since the way that he left probably about an hour ago, you can see his carriage is starting to come back. Two horses in the front and just a covered up carriage with a driver on top is starting to trot back.
And so wait, so it's just a carriage with horses. He doesn't have like a oh god, I can't think of the word.
An
Like an
entourage,
escort.
like, yeah,
Entourage.
escort.
Yeah, okay.
No, every time he's left, it has just been uh, just a carriage and his horses. The speaking place is not very far from the mansion that he has.
Okay. And how far or how fast would you say that this carriage is going?
I'll make a perception check. It's a little far away, but
Okay, yes, a little far away. Okay.
oh yeah, it's a little far away.
Oh shit, let me roll.
First roll
It's like
part two.
I
it's
gotta
like
get
a
I gotta get Genghis Senior up here.
it's like a train. It's difficult to see the front.
I love that all Garrett characters is like a family lineage of
Mm-hmm.
adventurers.
Nope. At some point, he lost the wizarding with Genghis Khan and became more of a monk character.
Okay, I rolled a 14. 17.
17. I'll say you can tell based off of the horse's trot that it's not just a normal little walking pace. It seems to be a little bit quicker than normal. Like, not like sprinting, right? It's not a speeding carriage, but it's not a casual pace.
So would you say with my perception of this speed that I could run alongside it for a little bit of time and try to talk?
You could certainly run alongside it, yes, I would say so.
Okay. I would like to attempt to do that while
Okay.
trying to get Mr. Bronze's attention.
Okay. So it's kind of coming in the distance towards you, so you run up and you start to run alongside it.
And I say, Mr. Bronze, sir, you must stop immediately. There's been a kidnapping.
Uh, make a make a deception check for me.
Okay. I gotta go to my Gangan Senior Deception. I rolled a, I rolled,
Kengun's.
now I rolled a 17
Oh.
Jeez.
instead of a 14 plus 3. Ooh.
So just 17 plus 0?
17 plus 0.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Straight roll. 17's pretty good. You see the cart does not the cart continues to go along, but you see a head pop out from the carriage. You could kind of look in, and there's just like a little window there that you're screaming up to, and you see a head pop out, and you see, a very, I don't know. The only description I'm thinking in my head is like Jason Kelsey is the only person
Okay.
I can really see, but like kind of a bigger bearded, you know, kind of just football player esque looking person. I'll say a head pops out and he looks at you, bald on top and has no hair on top. Looks
Do
out
I
to you
know
and he
what
said,
Seymour Bronze looks like before this?
yes, yeah, I'll say you have seen Seymour Bronse and this is Senior Bronze. I'll say that.
Okay.
Uh, looks out, uh, and says, "Kidnapping? What are you talking about?"
Sir, can you please stop the carriage? I would like, it takes a lot for me to run and talk at the same time.
He says, uh, he says, I, I, who's been kidnapped? Tell me that first.
They kidnapped one of one of the elite five from the God, what's that place called? I knew what it was called
The
the
unspoken
unknown
place?
The
unknown
unspoken.
unspoken place.
Unknown? Maybe it's unknown
Uns,
place.
I don't know.
yeah,
They both
I
sound
think
good.
unspoken. I don't know.
Okay.
It's in my notes somewhere. But yes, the unspoken place. You say the place. Uh,
Yes.
uh, his his eyes go wide at this, his eyebrows raise, and he uh, you know hits his hand up on the ceiling to alert the driver to slow down, and the driver comes down to a crawl. I'll say that you're kind of at the corner where uh, you can see down the alley, kind of the side of the front yard and the house where you all went before. So you're not quite at the front yet, but they're stopped in the middle of the road, and Seymour looks at you with a very perplexed face, and he says, "How on earth do you know of the Elite Five?"
Sir.
Hey, my
I was
bitches.
just I was
It's
frequenting the brothel
the
after I had
one.
won a very very fun game of insert popular card wagering game that would take
Mhm.
place at 3D
uh,
Tango.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I won a game of this, and I decided to get the best experience possible. And little known lady at the brothel gifted me with this experience, and all of a sudden a man walked in and grabbed one of the women and ran out with her like it was an emergency. But I believe it was a kidnapping.
he says, he says, "Oh well, did you see a description of this person at all? Is there anything? Have you gone to the police? Have you gone to the guards?"
Sir, I was told the police would not take this matter seriously because she was a brothel worker, and I wanted to come to you because I know you're the one that can get things done. As for a description, I don't know. My eyes were closed. I was just enjoying the moment. I barely just got a glimpse of him, and I would just say that he he didn't seem very big, but he had a lot of clothes on. He was very cloaked, and
Hmm.
as if he didn't want anyone to see who he was. And I
Hmm.
doubt anyone would be able to identify him.
Mhm. he says, he says, "Well, in the moment you can tell that the line of you saying you're the person that can get things done. He seems pleased with that line. He's not hiding that at all. He says, "Well, yes, I am the one that gets things done around here. What
I'm the one who knocks.
Look
he
at
says,
me.
well, well, this establishment you speak of that is well known. I've never been there myself personally, but it's close by. How about we go there quickly, or how
Yes,
about we
yes.
go there together and we will try and ask what is happening here or happened there."
Um, sir, I do not believe I am quite dressed for the occasion of being seen with Your Majesty Bronze, sir, whatever his title would be. I do not
Mayor
believe I am
Bronse.
dressed. If you would allow me, I would love to run back home, and then I will meet you there within no more than 5 or 10 minutes.
He
Would
says
that suffice?
he says make a persuasion check for me.
Oh god, I'm getting myself into some deep jank right here.
Deep Jane.
I'm due for a bad roll. Just
You're
just a
doofenshmirtz,
10.
bro.
Just a
He's
10.
due. He's due. He's due.
Just a 10.
With
Flat
plus the
10.
modifier.
10 plus 0. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Charisma. He, I will say he squints at you and he says, "Okay, well, what's your name, sir?"
My name is Gedged Senior.
He says, he says, "All right, Gengen Senior. Well, I'll head there and I'll. When around did this all happen?"
Oh boy, I would say it happened around 2 hours ago. I would say it happened around 3 days ago, and then time paused in this world for, or no, what was it, like a week ago?
It was 3 days ago.
Uh, I'll say I give him a relatively accurate answer. That's all. I'll say that.
So 3 days ago. You say it was 3 days ago.
Whatever, yeah, whatever's accurate.
Yeah, it was three days ago.
Why'd we wait 3 days?
Well, because y'all
We like
scouted
scoped
out
out
the
the
place.
place.
You got the artifacts, and also this is the day before it's empty on his schedule.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Okay. This was a bad plan.
Well, with all this extra information, I'll
Okay.
still say
Okay.
you say this, but what time do
Yeah.
you say?
I'll say 3 days ago, and then I'll give an accurate time.
Okay.
At
He
11:34, exactly.
he he kind of squints at you and say, "Wait, this happened 3 days ago? What?
Yes,
Why?"
yes, sir. Sir, so this happened when I was getting the treatment, of course. And when the thing happened, I really thought there might be an emergency. And so I just kind of finished up with the other four and left, and I really enjoyed my time, so I wanted to go back and do it again. And I was told that the there were still only four, that the fifth never returned. And so I'm coming to you with my own theory of kidnapping. I'm not even sure the establishment would share my opinion, but I feel very confident.
Uh, he's he's nodding along as you say all this, and he says, "Ah, I understand. I'm sure it's been keeping you up at night. You know, I know how. Uh,
Yes, always
I've only
boring.
heard, I've only heard rumors, of course, about how good these people are at their job. I will
Very good. I can
then
confirm.
then I will see you, Gengen Senior, in just a moment, and I'll put a stop to this. I'll make sure that
Yes.
the things get done. But I'll see you in just a second."
Yes, allow me to go get dressed in order to be seen with your majesty. Thank you so much.
Majesty. He kind of likes that. He's like, "Oh yeah," and he yells up to the driver to turn around, and the cart kind of turns around on this wide road and starts to kind of head back towards where you know the unspoken place to be. Uh,
Nice. All right, I really hope my boys can escape now.
Reactions at max. Sneak 100.
yeah, exactly. He will. I'll say, do you head back to under the window?
Um, I think I start running and I'm like looking back. So would you say that me running towards the window would be the opposite direction the carriage is going?
It's like perpendicular because the road goes parallel to the front of the house. So if
Okay,
you were
so
to
yeah,
run
I
back to
kind
the
of
side
run.
of the
Yeah,
house,
I
yeah.
kind of start running that way, and then
Okay.
I kind of like slow and look up at the window, and then would I see
hmm
anything at that point, or do I need to stop in order to eventually communicate with them?
I would say that the timing has worked out well enough that you, you know, as you both TW and Kingsley, as you both are looking out the window and not seeing Gingen Senior, if you were to look over to the left towards the front of the house, then or the front yard, where the road is, you'd be able to see Gengen Senior uh, talking to uh, talking to what you can only assume is Seymour Bronse in the carriage. Is there anything that you two would want to do in the time where Gengen Senior is still communicating with Seymour?
Well,
I
I
can.
have no idea what's being said. I
Yep.
have no idea if
You just see.
Seymour is about to walk into the house at any moment.
hmm
So I think we should get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, while they're talking, I'll magically put us over there if that works for you. Just
That's perfect.
grab my hand, then I'll put my hand out, and
Clasp.
then as soon as Kingsley grabs the cat paw of
hmm
TW, I'm gonna go and like reach towards the window, and then one of those like fancy like plank wood doors forms there, and I'm gonna like creak it open. It makes kind of like that weird creaking noise, and we step through it, and we like just poof like 500 feet down, and hopefully around a corner if I can see one. So we'd be out of the way.
Gotcha. So you're
I'm
just
gonna cast
now.
dim- I'm gonna cast Dimension Door,
Hell yeah, dude.
um, and teleport us the
Slay.
fuck out of there.
Sheesh.
The fuck.
Very nice. Very well groomed
Yeah.
paws. Very solid.
Yeah, very
Okay, so
soft.
then as I'm running away,
Well, it takes a lot of
what was
effort,
his
you know. I
name
just gotta
again?
be out here licking them, you know.
I'm
It's the
sure.
only way.
I'm
It's the
sure.
only way.
Would you say where you dimension doored to TW? Would you say it is along the path where Gengen Senior would be running?
I would try to if I have like the angle. I'm not sure how like the angle works out. Like if they're
Mhm.
on the front and we're looking at the side, I'd try to like get us down there so we'd
Mhm.
at least be in Gen's peripheral.
Yes,
If that works.
yeah. There's a bunch of buildings to the side, so you could definitely find like you can see an alleyway where you can kind of teleport into without still being seen from the front row. And so Gengen, you are going to the window, but you both see Gengen after a couple of seconds starts to just straight up pass you.
Does he see us?
I think I'm hyper focused on the window.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you probably wouldn't.
We could just go tap him on the shoulder.
Go ahead.
Just gonna go, like, tap him.
I think I violently turn around and we just square up.
Hey, bud.
Oh,
You're actually out.
Oh, hey,
You made
fellas.
it.
Hey, fellas. So, I think I would talk first because I think my situation is more pressing.
Mm-hmm.
I basically I fill him in really quickly, basically tell him that I was able, like I sent him away, but I am screwed because I told him to go investigating a kidnapping where I am very much the prime suspect and they recognize my face, but I had to get him
Well,
sent away. I had to
at
send
least you
him
didn't
away.
tell him your name, did you?
Oh, I did tell him my name.
Oh, why the fuck did you do that?
Because I thought he would be able to tell if I was lying about my name, and I couldn't think of a better. I couldn't
Well, if it makes you feel better, we have the room bug. So when he brings one of the top 5 there, because I'm sure he has no reason to worry about that, we'll catch them in the act.
Great. Well, I think I might have to go into hiding with our Elite 5 member. Just don't put any listening devices in the room that we're in.
Oh man.
Okay.
But basically, I think I need to get back to Beauregard's house. That's my thing. I mean, I'd be happy to help you guys do any tasks, but I'd like minimal visibility. Did you guys find anything?
We did, actually. Um, we were able to place 2 of the sending stones, or whatever they're called,
Listening
uh,
devices.
listening devices,
Listening rock.
in conspicuous places. I think we placed one in his office and one like underneath the bed.
Yep.
We also found a secret compartment, uh,
Mm,
like closet thing full of these listening devices, to like different places. So we have evidence that he has been tampering or at least listening in on various locations.
Grabbed one, right?
wow.
Yeah, you did take one.
We
Sounds
did
like
grab one.
sounds like our boy was correct.
Yes.
Sounds like
um
Elmo was right.
so we could bring him this evidence, um so that he can be like listening into the things we stole and also into the things we planted.
I think that's a good idea.
Um cool.
The place was odd in the sense that like it was like not lived in. I don't know if
Yeah.
he's just hyper cleanly, but there was no like signs of other than the bed being unmade, like no signs of interacting with the room. So
Well,
Everything was
kind of
made out of
strange.
stone.
well, he was
That doesn't
certainly
help.
coming back to the house
True.
at one point.
We could have missed something. Perhaps he lives in a different, like, secret area we didn't discover. But very strange. Also, I think the guard was sus of me, but he let me go in and
Oh,
mill about
you know, I just
unattended.
realized. Well, hopefully he forgets that you're in the house. and didn't
Oh,
come out. I
yeah.
didn't think about that.
I'm
I
just gonna
actually
be
did
gone.
remember that part, but obviously I didn't know that as my character.
It's fine. I didn't tell
It'll
him
be
my real
fine.
name.
True.
Yeah, what kind of idiot would do
Yeah.
that?
All
Do we
right.
want to drop this evidence off to
Mr.
Bowden?
Beauregard.
I like that idea. Let's do it.
All right. I will say, luckily, Ryan Beauregard's the address that he gave you is not. It's like the opposite direction of Unspoken Place. So
That's good.
Oh,
That's
pog.
so you don't have to go near that place. But as you head over, you. I remember. I think the one that you grabbed, the listening device, right? The one that y'all grabbed was from. You could hear a guy complaining about something, about some person. He was like, I'm not gonna. He can't just control me. I'm not gonna let someone just take that over. I'll say that, as you kind of took it, it's been kind of silent, but as you're walking back, suddenly sound starts to be coming out uh, of it, and it's not loud. It's not like, someone speaking to you, but it certainly is, there's no volume adjuster on it, I'll put it that way. And so it is kind of making some sound. So is there, and it's in your pocket, I think, Kingsley. I think you were the one who took it.
Can I like cover it? Does that like quiet it?
You holding it over, it does quiet it a little bit, but not by much.
Is that so? Are we like out in the open? Is it pertinent of me to not disclose that I have a thing?
Um, I would say if someone were paying attention, they would find it odd that none of you are speaking and there's noises coming from out of you.
Noise
But
coming out, yeah.
but I would say that if you do some things, you could, if you like, try and cover it up or, cloak the sound in some way, then yeah, you would probably be able to just keep walking down the street.
I like fiddled with it for a while to discover how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Did I discover how to like change the volume?
No, you never figured out how to change the volume. You only really ever figured out how to record things and, go back into previous recordings and things like that. I mean, I guess you could turn it off, but I will say that you needed both pieces in terms of turning it off. Like once they were split, they're kind of now turning into a listening device, whereas when they were put back together, it is then turns into just an inanimate object.
I'm gonna put it in my mouth.
I was gonna suggest I do that.
I'll take it back out. Would you like that? Would you like to do it?
Nah, I'm good.
How much does that quiet it?
That does certainly quiet it quite a bit. It is kind of big, so it's like I'd say it's like, this. I forget the shape that it was, but
Just mewing now.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Your face looks very mute currently. And I'll say that you continue to walk down the street with you mewing. Some people find you very attractive as you were mewing, and kind of look
Obviously.
at you, but can continue to walk by.
What else is new?
Yeah, exactly. So as you get to the campaign house, or yeah, to the house where kind of Ryan Beauregard's setting up his whole campaign office with people, writing out posters and things like that. You enter, and there you see Ryan Beauregard once again in a very nicely dressed suit, and it appears that he's putting on, a cloak. Kind of his big furry coat that he had on the first time that he'd met you, and it seems like he's about to leave. But you all enter, and he says, Oh, hey! Welcome, have you have any more information?
I'll let you guys go first, since you guys have information directly relevant to him.
Here you go. We managed to plant a listening device.
he said, he, shakes his head real quick. He said, this is the other half of a listening device that you planted?
Yes, sir.
Well, that one's connected to. Was that one the one that we connected to the one that we found, or one of ours?
That is the one you found. Well, yeah, that's up to you. Which one
Which one
was
did
in
you
your
eat?
mouth?
Wait, which
Which
was
one?
in your mouth?
Whichever one was making noise is
The
one
one
I
that
put
was
in my
making
mouth.
the one that was making noise was the one that you took.
Stole.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, then I'll just say we found these a bunch of these inside a secret compartment in his house.
Hundreds.
Hundreds.
Uh,
We believe they are used to listen to various people and keep tabs on them.
Ryan's eyebrows are raised. He says, "There's what? There's listening devices throughout the whole entire settlement? What are you talking about?"
Everywhere. Nowhere is safe. Maybe even here.
I was gonna say, thinking about that, can we do some sort of like Arcana check or something, or like
Uh,
investigation to see if the room's bugged?
He also is thinking of this, and so he says, everyone, we all need to look around for listening devices." So I'd like all three of you to make investigation checks, and he will, and the other people
God.
in the room will.
I'm
as
going
well.
to look over
Yikes.
to Kingsley, and I'm gonna say. Actually, I'll look over to both Kingsley, if you'll allow it, Mr. God, to both Kingsley and Gengen, and be like, we've planted these things before. We know where to find them, and I'm gonna try to give them both Bardic, if you'll allow it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm down with that.
So after I roll, then I roll a 6 die.
A
You can roll a
D8.
D8 to
D8.
add to your D20 roll.
Okay.
But you don't have to use it now. It just lasts for like 10 minutes.
Well, I think I should use it because I rolled
Well.
a really shitty investigation.
Me too.
Me too. Also.
Uh-oh.
I got a 10 with my bardic inspiration.
Mm.
All right, Gengen.
I got 17.
Let's go,
Mm.
I
Gengen.
got a
Okay.
10, and then I rolled the Bardic 7.
Okay,
Oh.
7. That's good.
That's
Good.
That's very good. Yes.
Well, the
I
thing is,
rolled-
I initially rolled a 4, and then I plus 6, and then I plus 7. So
Oh yeah. What about
kinda
you,
not
TW?
great, but it
I
worked.
got a 7.
Yeah, dude. There's 4 people in here, right? I rolled 2 nat 1s,
Ooh.
a 5, but then a nat 20. So, I'll say
Fuck.
you look over and you see that there is this female elf who was previously doing some drawings of posters the last time you saw her, and she is looking around, and she underneath one of the desks, you're all looking around, she finds a small little half size of a marble. It's probably like not as big as like when you opened up the closet, there was shapes of all different kinds of sizes, right? Like there was big ones and smaller ones, right? They seem to be all, of course, all various shapes and sizes to not be exactly the same. She finds what looks to be like a small little half semisphere, probably like as big as like a D20 dice, like this small little thing, actually underneath one of the desks, holding up, like kind of half marble, like attached like glue to the underneath of this desk that she was working at, and she shows it up and she says, "This, I I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is one of the listening devices, but it's here." And Ryan runs on over and he looks at it and he says, I don't know if this is a listening device. I don't have much experience. I've only ever had the one that I've had. Does this look like any of the ones that you saw?"
Well, they can come in many different shapes, but that certainly fits the description of what one might look like.
Now,
He,
can I
yeah,
ask, or
yeah.
first off, do I any of us know what happens if we just destroy this thing? Like, what happens to the other half?
No, I don't.
Dude,
Would
yeah,
they?
I
Would
would
they?
say none of you do.
Okay,
You should
then
try it though.
I want to like try to cover it in my hand and ask Ryan if he knows
hmm
at least what happened with his.
Ryan says, I, I haven't been able to find mine, but I know that I can. I know that we could. I think it's even if something terrible happens, I think it's better if we just try and destroy it.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm big. I'll destroy it.
Big guy.
All right.
Touch that rock.
Yeah.
I
What do
want
you do to destroy it?
I baseball throw it against the wall.
Roll a strength check for me.
How OG barbarians used to level up
Okay.
by destroying magic items.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
that was like in like second edition or something, like super old.
You
Whoa.
could destroy magic to get XP.
18.
18. Hell
14
yeah.
plus 4.
You know, like a baseball pitcher. You know, you
Yeah.
wind up. You know, oh,
Against the wall.
everybody stand back. You line up and you just throw it as hard as you possibly can into the wall. And as you do, it like glass just shatters into 1,000 pieces, and it doesn't break with a sound of glass breaking. When it breaks, it like those videos on YouTube where there's like 1,000 videos playing on at once, right? And it's just a
Yeah.
jarble of sound. It's like that for like 2 seconds. It starts out very loud, just this loud like, but like it tapers off after about 2 seconds, and you can obviously tell based off of just how startling it was, and also that's not what normally happens. It appears that uh, everything that was recorded into that device has just now been dispelled in the past 2 seconds.
Nice.
But it seems like, yes, this was not just some thing there. This seems like it was a listening device of some sort.
Could I do
Yeah.
like a quick, like after Gengen makes the pitch of a century, could I do a quick scan of like the there's like all the workers in the room to
Mhm.
see if any of them are any of them like hiding like any reaction or anything? Do they seem like
Mhm.
they may have planted it there?
Yeah, I'll say make an insight check.
Okay, +4. That is a 11. Yes.
I will say that everybody, is shocked by this, suddenly very loud, like, boom of just what seems like if you were to speed up just all of the sound that has happened over days into the span of 2 seconds. Uh, as that, boom happens, you're looking around at everybody's face, and everybody's face is shocked except for the female elf that did it. She does not seem as shocked as the other people. Not like not showing reactions. Like she's not stoic about it, but in terms of if you're comparing, everybody didn't know that was going to happen. She seemed to not be as shocked.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
I'm gonna like if I can
Mhm.
get Kingsley's attention and just kind of like not like try to make it obvious, but just kind of like look from him to her and just
Mhm.
and then just keep an eye on the situation as we
Mhm.
keep going.
I think I get it.
Mhm. You do some eye communication, some touching
One
of
of
the
these.
nose. Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
nonverbal.
Mhm. Yeah. Some mewing. Uh. So Ryan is looking shocked, and he says, I had no idea that was going to happen. But this is wait. So you said that there's just tons of these at his house?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a
Like
closet,
in a closet.
a secret closet. I
With a
forget what we
stone
did.
door.
We like pushed. It was like behind a stone wall.
Yeah. It was like a stone door of some sort, right?
Yeah,
We had to like push it open. It was really heavy.
it was just a door that you heard noises behind, and then you pulled it open, and you both weren't the strongest, but you were able to pull it open, and uh, yeah, just like dozens and dozens of these things sitting on various shelves. He says, "So, how did they? How on earth did they? How would they know which one is which? How would they be able to tell? Was there any markings of any sort? Was there labels? Were there
Well, each
anything
one of
like
them
that?"
was unique. They all looked like different things.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. I don't think they had any labels though, that I can remember.
You didn't see any labels, no.
It would be possible to memorize, perhaps, which one corresponds to what.
Or if you're hearing voices, then I guess you would like recognize the voice of the person who's talking after a while.
Or perhaps there's a record somewhere
Mm.
of which one corresponds to what, but we didn't find anything like that.
He says, well, I think that, I think if we could somehow get, and he's just thinking out loud, and he's like, well, I wish we could get the guards in on this, or be able to, do a raid of the house or something like that, but I don't think we have enough proof for that, but, he looks to the one that you gave him, the one that fell out of your mouth. He says, What what made you choose this one?
Um, I don't remember. I think
Just
it just looked funny. What does it look like?
you're listening. It just looks like any of the rest of them. This one's kind of like a half triangle looking one, but it was out of all of them you listened to, some were silent, some were various conversations, but this one was some guy saying, I'm not going to let him get away with this. He can't control me. These kinds of things. So that struck you as important
And
in some way.
that's what I tell him.
Okay. He says, "Oh, well, then make make a uh, make an insight check. All of you, I'll say, because he's talking to all of you."
11.
13.
7.
7.
74.
She said she was 12. I'll,
Oh?
I'll, I'll say,
What did he say?
I'll say, that UTW, it looks like, to Gengen Senior and Kingsley, it looks like Ryan is kind of just thinking to himself, of who it could be. But I'll say UTW, you kind of can tell that he looks a little worried, more so than thinking to himself. There's just an inch of worry on his face. Uh, but he continues on. He says, "Oh that then I think this will be very good to keep, because if we can get some we can get some voice, or let me reset." He says, "I think this would be very good to keep, because if we can listen on to it, maybe we can tell who this person is, and we can figure out where the other half is, and we can get them as a witness as well."
I think, yeah, I think I probably push back on that a little bit of the nerves for a second there. I'm gonna kind of say, uh, now, Mr. Beauregard, I can tell that I don't know the facts that Kingsley just told you about that piece made you a little nervous. We are trying to help you out with a very difficult task right now. I think um, being honest with us with all your concerns is kind of the best way forward. If there's anything here that's you think might be more or beyond what it seems on the surface, please let us know.
He says, I I agree. I agree with you, TW. Don't worry. Uh, uh, could you could you three please come up with me to my room upstairs? I'd like to ask for your help with something.
I'm sus.
I'll come up to
Sus.
his room,
A
but
little sus.
the first thing I'm doing there, if I don't get physically attacked, is I'm looking for another bug.
Mm.
Uh, okay. Then
Can I be like, I don't know how this works, but can I be like alert so that like, and like ready in action, like
Mhm.
if someone tries to attack me,
sure.
I'm like ready to stab them or something?
Yeah, what action would you like to ready?
I would like to ready the stab them with my dagger or rapier action
The
on the
stab attack.
trigger
Mhm.
of being attacked.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll say you are on edge and, hand maybe, resting a little bit more than usual on your rapier.
Mm-hmm.
But as you, kind of find these stairs up that you had seen the girl that you rescued before, the woman you rescued before, you
Still
start,
don't know her name.
yeah, no, or the elf, or the female elf, I should say. You start heading up, and you enter this room that is, it's quite small for like three people. It's like, or for the four of you to be standing in. It's like, it's like a college dorm sized room. And as you walk in, there's just a twin bed, and you walk in, and he says, "Can you please close the door?"
I'll
To
close
us?
the
Oh.
door, but
To
then
help.
I'm looking for bugs.
He said, "How obviously are you looking for bugs?" I'll say.
Very very obviously.
He says,
Just gives him a 4.
he says, "Well, Gen, Senior, I have the same idea. Could you please help me look for bugs in this room? Because, and he looks incredibly nervous. He says, ah, ah, uh, he, uh, he says, and he kind of clears his throat a little bit. He says, no one can help. No one, uh, this, I have been working on my voice to try and get it to be a little bit deeper, but I think what you were describing is what I might have been doing earlier today, and uh, I I hope you didn't hear too much, but I will say this: uh, I think this room may be bugged,
I think
and
that would be a
so
safe bet,
I would like.
probably.
Wait, hold up. Wait, are you saying that what what was described earlier that you guys
Mhm.
were hearing on one of the bugs was him talking in a different voice? Is that
Was
what that
him
Yes.
and seems to be in some deeper voice.
And so didn't we take that bug though?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
and
Well,
was
that's
we took our or the one end of that bug, so the other end would
yes,
be here.
yeah, the
yes,
other
the
one would be
other.
here, so it's not that big of a
Oh wait, are
deal.
we hearing our voices coming out of the bug?
Yeah,
Because wouldn't it
yeah,
just be playing
that's
it?
the other part. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would probably be incredibly useful to if you try and listen to it. I will say that as you are speaking into it, uh, you do not hear yourselves.
Hmm. Is it like one of them is the sending end and one is the receiving end? So if
Yes,
we have the
that's
receiving end, we can't talk. but we can like listen to it and like go around the room saying things
Mm-hmm.
But
to see if we're like getting closer to it.
if we're in the room with the bug though, and like we were barely hearing faint talking, like we would hear like a faint sound come through, or are these
Yeah.
things like super sensitive to where like the volume is?
Yeah, I would say like you're both on the right track, but you do not hear the you do not hear yourselves talking.
Is there a bathroom attached to this bedroom?
No, not within the room.
Okay.
Hmm.
Like, what if is there a closet in this bedroom?
Yes.
I would like to open the closet and then start talking,
Okay.
and then listen for our voices or listen
I'm
for my
listening.
voice.
Yeah. I'll say that.
Marco.
Yeah. I'll say as soon as you open up the closet, you do not see anything. But as you're now looking, or you do not hear anything again. But as soon as you start looking around the room, uh, as you are thinking about, opening, like maybe it's behind something.
Mm.
You do notice that there are lots of drawers, and there's like a dresser in here, so there's lots of drawers, but there's also big fur coats and various things. This is Ryan's room, and he seems to have a lot of cloaks around and coats. And so if there was a bug in here, it would probably be hidden around. And I'll say Ryan, as soon as he sees you open the door, Gengen Senior, he says, "Great idea, Gengen. Let's." And he kind of looks like a little kid, and he's like, "Let's tear up the place." And he starts taking off cloaks and stuff. And I'll say, without much need of an investigation, as soon as one of you, there's like a coat rack there with a whole bunch of coats on it. As soon as he starts pulling off coats and everything like that, suddenly through the receiving end that you were hearing before, you are now able to, and there's kind of like a feedback loop echoing thing, as it is picking up what you are doing as soon as all these coats are off. And I'll say through just some investigation of looking around, you can see that attached to one of the cloaks that is on the thing is, after looking on it and figuring it out, you can see that the other end of the receiving end of this particular thing is on one of the cloaks that was on the coat rack.
Was it like dropped in a pocket, or was it like
Mhm.
sewn in like the?
Yeah, it was dropped into one of the pockets of this coat. And Ryan, upon this discovery, is like, "Ah, I didn't. I, I, I don't know how this got in here." And he starts to look incredibly worried. Before the face that you saw, TW, was a look of just a little bit of worry, but he's trying to hide it. But now, all three of you see just his face is worried, and he says, I don't, I don't, I don't. Wait, put these together. But wait, let's just destroy them. Let's destroy them. I don't want these
Wait,
things to
I have
exist.
an idea.
Yeah.
I would like. I wanted to. So my idea
Hmm.
with TW's look downstairs, making me sus of this woman. I want to go downstairs, and show it to her, and then gauge her reaction.
Hmm.
Uh, to see if I can glean any insight.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you go down and you just show it to her. Do you say anything as you show it to her?
Recognize this?
Does this seem familiar?
I'll say.
One
I'll,
of these.
I'll say make an insight check, but with advantage because of the sly look that TW gave you earlier. You have
Okay.
reason to believe that you'll see something.
Insight. That's a 12 and an 8.
So 12
Yikes.
total?
Yeah, just 12.
Okay, 12. I'll say she's certainly shocked by you just saying, do you recognize this? But she, very similarly to when TW kind of noticed that she didn't have as much of a reaction to it, she again, she looks surprised, but not as surprised as you think someone would be if you were showing some random object in somebody's face. She says to you, no, I don't recognize this. What?
Is anyone else like downstairs with me that might have incited on her face?
Yeah, did we all go down, or I guess yeah. I don't
That's
know.
up that's up to you
I
two
assume
also.
I followed him down.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say I told you guys my plan, what I wanted to do upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. Then yeah. Then if you two would also like to make an insight check into just this interaction, I will say not with advantage, just because you're not so close.
Sure, I will try. Unless you want to get it Gengen.
Ooh, 17 plus 3, baby.
Gengen got it.
Gun got it. Dirty 20, dude.
nice.
You can tell that she is, much like a liar is trying, not to look at it, and is very, based off of her posture, is trying very hard to appear like she is calm and not, has no idea what's happening when she
Gotcha,
appears
bitch.
to have more.
So
She appears to have more.
I might point that out. I'll say like, why can't you look at it? Why can't you just look at what it is?
Don't you know what this is?
He shoved this random object in your face, asked if you knew what it was, and you're not even trying to look at it.
She says, "Oh well, I
Circle.
she says, I didn't mean to. And she's like now looking at it like a little bit too much, like looking at it, and she's, maybe I recognize it. I don't recognize this particular thing, but it kind of looks like another listening device, right? The one that I just found under the desk, maybe."
My friend, what is your name?
She says, Millie.
Millie. Um, Millie, how long have you been working for our friend Mr. Beauregard now?
And I'll say that Ryan has come down now, and he says, "Well, Millie has been Millie." I'll say, let me. Yeah, I just want to make sure I say the dates right. I'll say, "Oh, Millie has been with us for just probably a dozen days or so. Uh, she, and he, as you can see, as he's kind of processing what y'all are doing and understanding that, things are kind of clicking within his head, and he says, well, she actually was the one who came here and wanted to join us, whereas everyone else that you see here is I brought from my previous town that I ran. They were good friends of mine, so he says, so not very long at all. Isn't that right, Millie? He's like, I was interested in the job. Do you all think, where was that? Do you think I was planting these things? What are you talking about? Do you think I work for someone else? I'm just trying to get into the space.
Listen, Millie, listen. And I'm gonna undo the top button of the three-piece suit, open it out.
Pants?
You wish. No, the top of the suit. And then kind of like open it off to one side, and then in the inner pocket is a very sharp or a very fine iron file, and I'm going to start filing the cat claw and looking at her like, Millie, And coming to work for an individual and promising them their loyalty is a very personal thing, and it's one of great betrayal to break that trust, especially to uphold an institution which is willingly able to break the laws of its own their own laws. Um, and so I would like you to be very forward and upfront with us with everything that you know about this. And I'm going to attempt to use my words of terror
Mm.
ability,
Yeah.
and try to make her afraid of us by being imposing.
Okay. Yeah.
Words of terror is once per short rest, you speak to a humanoid for a minute. If they fail this wisdom save, they're afraid of you, or they are considered frightened of you for an hour.
Mhm. Okay.
And that's just gonna be me
Wisdom
like filing
save.
my clap claw. Wisdom save DC 15.
C15. Damn. Okay. Not good for Millie with a 13 and a plus
Ooh,
0
correct.
to it. No save for Millie as you see her eyes as you know she's kind of glancing down at your claws and glancing back up at you. You can see the sweat starts to uh, appear on her brow and is starting to go down, and she says, "I, I, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Nothing has to happen. I'll be honest. Okay. I'll be honest." And she's like looking all around the room, but especially so glancing at your claws that you are brandishing.
I'm gonna look between Kingsley and Gengen. I was like, well, where do we want to start with this?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Now, Millie.
Well,
Now, Millie, this truth that you're about to tell us, we we may elect not to punish you in the future if you can agree to tell this to the entire public, as means to get a righteous man in power rather than Mr. Bronze.
Uh, he, she says, "Okay, Uh, what do you want to know? What do you want to know?"
How'd you come across these listening devices? These aren't the first time you've seen them, and we know that to be true.
Uh, she says, "Uh, well, Mr. Bronze gave them to me. I, uh, I used to work at his mansion, you see, and
Recording device.
he said I used to work at his mansion, you see, and
I wink at Dayton, telling him good job recording it.
he said I used to work at his mansion, you see, and I did not, or I don't know. I'm speaking as I'm speaking as Ryan right now. I used to work as his mansion, you see, and I was I did not do a very good job uh, of cleaning it, and I was uh, very poor at my job. And instead of firing me, Seymour Bronse instead said that if I just followed these simple steps and planted some listening devices in uh, Ryan Beauregard's campaign office and to work there and to give detail to or intel to him every once in a while, uh, then I would be able to stay in the city and not be punished too badly.
Well, luckily
as
for
you
you, once his bad deeds come out, we'll be the ones deciding your punishment and or lack of rather than him. So there's no need to serve him any longer.
She kind of glances at TW's claws and she says, "Okay, I, okay."
has he ever told you to plant anything anywhere else?
uh, she shakes her head. She says, "No, this was all I had to do was just to gain Ryan's trust." And she kind of glances over at Ryan, and Ryan is like, I keep saying, I keep speaking in her with Ryan's voice. Ryan says, why did you, you lied to me. I thought you were going to be one of my best staff, and I was thinking of even promoting you, Billy, and you betrayed my trust. This
Yeah,
is just, this is."
just missing on
Ryan
that
seems,
bag.
yeah, Ryan seems very flustered at this.
Millie, do you know of anyone else who was given any similar tasks or responsibilities?
Uh, I'll say Millie says, well, I did know about the other listening devices, but I wasn't allowed to speak with any of the other servants there, so I don't know if anyone else was doing anything else. I wasn't told anything. It was all I was only allowed to come in at certain times and clean at certain times, and I I did not. I don't know. No, I don't.
I'm gonna with the listening device still. Um,
Mhm.
so you would say that yourself and the other servants within the home were aware of the listening devices that um, Mr. Bronse has just on retainer throughout many different people within the city of Bow or town of Bow.
She's, yeah, she says, yes, I would do know this. Yeah, I would say that, with, it was, one of the things that was used to, frighten us, because if we did anything, bad, then, these could be placed, near our family or any people that we cared about, and that was, threatened of me as well. Uh,
Couldn't if you knew they were placed near your family, could you not break them as you saw me do? Flexes and then repeats the baseball throwing action.
she, after seeing your display, she says, "Well, I did think of that, but uh, unfortunately, uh, unfortunately, the other device, uh, the other half of the device, uh, he would say that we would know if we ever broke it. So I don't know. Maybe the other device, is something. Maybe it was alerted since you just broke that one. I don't know if I
Uh,
I would be a little concerned about that. That's why uh I I didn't know you were going to break it.
well.
Oh,
I don't know
kind of a
what
beast
else to
thing.
Oh
say.
wow. Oh well.
Um, now, Millie, you mentioned other servants of Mr. Bronze having to do similar things or similar acts. Can you give us any names of individuals who have been forced to act not of their own will due to Mr. Bronze's requests? And you don't have to give us a list of names if you don't have them, Stephen, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
try to like fish for like other victims or part
Uh,
involved parties.
well, luckily on my end, I don't need to have a list of names because she says I was not allowed to interact with any of the other uh
Oh.
servants. I don't know. I'm sure they know just as much as I do, but I don't know their names. I don't know what they look like. It was always me alone in the house whenever I had to work there.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Did you ever see Mr. Bronze in the house with you?
He uh she
Or was it
says
always just yourself in the home?
she says never in the mansion. No, we would always meet in some other undisclosed location or in some other location that would change constantly. Uh it would never be within the mansion. I was just supposed to be in the mansion and to clean it.
Mm.
Weird.
Sounds like he doesn't ever go into the mansion.
And did
Maybe
you
it's a
ever
front.
Yeah.
did you ever meet back up with Mr. Bronze, or did he was it just to rely on these listening devices?
Uh she says, yes, I did. I did. I went and talked with him last week, but we were supposed to uh we were supposed to meet every 10 days. And so that was about that was about 8 days ago. So I was going to meet him in 2 days from now, but I don't know. I don't and she like looks at the claws again. She says, "I don't think I'm going to be doing that."
Well, I think it
See about
might
that?
behoove us
I think you might be doing
if you can
that.
attend that meeting.
He she says, "Oh, Oh, she looks even
Oh,
worried.
jeez.
She says, "Oh my gosh, can, I don't, I think he seems like a very smart man. I think he would know. I think he would know that I would be just helping you out. He would know that I'd been compromised or something. I don't want to do that."
Millie. Millie, if you never saw Mr. Bronse in his mansion, where did he stay? Do you have any inclination of where he would go if it wasn't into the home that you were keeping so clean?
Uh, he, she says, "I, I, I do not know where he would be. I always presumed he was in the basement. We were never allowed to be in
Mm,
there. But I don't know where he would come in. He would come out. I never ever saw anyone in the mansion. Even the guards in the front and in the back would
they
never
didn't go
come
in.
inside. I would never be able to tell anything, and I don't even know how he ever got into the basement. There was never any door or anything that I just wasn't allowed to go into. My curiosity was high at some points, but I was never able to figure out where I was supposed to be or where he ever was.
Wait, so did she say where she meets him?
She said different places,
Uh,
different times. Like
Now, where
she
is she
would be
supposed to
told.
meet in? Where is she supposed to meet him in 2 days?
Uh, and if you ask her that, she says, I was supposed to, uh, meet him at uh, Bronson's bar.
Oh, that shitty bar. Greedy Tavern or whatever it is. Drunkard, Greedy
Yeah, the
Drunkard for
greedy
life.
tankard. Yeah,
The
yeah,
Greedy
greedy tankard
Tankard for
for
life.
life, dude. She says, I don't think their fries are that good.
Beast.
I don't know. I feel like we should corner homie at this meeting, and like
Yeah.
give him all the blackmail, force him to resign or something.
And if he doesn't, we stab him in the throat.
Kill him.
Yes.
Um,
Maybe. We'll cross that
Maybe
bridge when we get there.
we'll think about
All right. Well, Millie, we thank you for giving us the truth. That is the best thing you can do for Bo, for yourself, for everybody. Uh, but unfortunately, we must keep you here, as it would be silly of us to let you go off by yourself after having told us all this information. We will not hurt you, but you will be held captive here.
she's she she just looks so dejected at this point. She's being double blackmailed right now, essentially. Well, not blackmailed, but like double captured. She said, "Okay, yes, just don't hurt me, please. I didn't." And she like looks at Bo or at Ryan, and she says, "I wasn't trying. I didn't mean to. I just, I don't know." And she just starts crying.
Women.
all right, fellas.
So we want to fast forward to the meeting, or
Yeah, I'll say that's up to y'all. You can discuss with whatever, and if you want
I
to
guess
do
we
it
should
with
probably talk
Ryan
to
or not,
Ryan.
it's up to you. Yeah, what's up?
I guess we should probably ask Ryan, like, once we had enough
I'm gonna stop
information.
recording the thing.
Mm.
Here's more evidence, Ryan.
Yeah, what was like? I guess we should probably ask him what was his plan once we discovered enough blackmail about him. Did he have a plan, or should we go to this meeting and bring it to Seymour and then tell him that he needs to get out of politics, or we're gonna release it all?
Yeah, I'll say
Or can we kill
Ryan.
him?
Yeah, I'll say Ryan. After asking that, he says, "Well, to be honest with you, I thought you were just gonna, maybe find some witnesses or some juicy little details, but you've discovered so much that before I was going to make like a whole campaign and we were going to make posters and stuff with all of this info and hopefully influence the public for the election. But if we could blackmail Seymour and get it so he actually just doesn't run again, oh, that would be fantastic because I'm definitely second place right now. So there's no
Dude,
way.
this is a scumbag.
There's no way I would lose. Yeah,
Alright,
he's so
yeah.
happy.
Let's do it.
Yep, I think we just plan to go to this meeting.
Okay. Is there anything any of you would like to do to prepare to go to this meeting?
Well, I guess we should probably discuss
Yeah.
if we should let Millie come with us to sort of like, do we trust her enough to at least just like be there to like take his attention? Like, I don't know if he might notice something's up if he sees us three but not her, or we should like send her in and then go in after.
Like send her to have a conversation, and we just like basically have a wire on her with one of the listening devices.
That's that's also possible.
But she's probably
Didn't
not a
think
good
of that.
actor, so that'd be hard.
She's a bad actor. She well, maybe she is. We only know how she behaves when you're flashing her claws at her. So
Listen,
Mewing.
folks, Millie, they're not sending
Millie.
their best Millies.
Mewing.
Guys, I do have to leave pretty soon.
Okay.
I have a meeting on Zoom at 8.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
oh,
So I would say if you would like, Steven,
Mhm.
you can just play Kingsley.
Mhm.
I can send you my character sheet.
I think we'll finish very soon.
I also
Yeah.
had a cutoff of 8:30, so I don't know if we want to like just try to wrap quick before Sam goes, or do a part 3. I'm down for whatever.
I don't have
I'll-
to have my camera on. I can just have the meeting up here while we finish.
Yeah,
Let's
I'll
do
say.
that.
Yeah, I'll say minimal interaction. But if you just want to listen in vaguely, Kingsley, it will be done definitely before 8:30, but probably before that. I'll say that.
All right,
Okay,
so quick
let's do it.
recap. She said they were meeting in a bar, and
Yep.
Yeah.
let's just let me do a little revisionist history and ask if I asked her if it was out in the open or like in a private room.
It would be at one of the tables in the bar.
Okay, so very out in the open.
Yeah, and he
more
would always wear cloaks to his meetings. I'll say that.
more revisionist history. Who normally arrived first?
She would be waiting there first.
Oh, okay. So we gotta send her in.
Send her in, or send someone disguised as her, or
That's true. We do got magic on our side.
true.
I have a disguise kit, but I don't know if it's that robust.
I can really mimic someone very well, but it's a little messy.
Messy?
Just a little bit messy.
Messy.
That's
For Millie.
ominous.
For Millie.
Oh, I see.
Or we can send her in there with a wire. And I could also make someone invisible to go in like with the wire.
Ooh,
Good point too.
I could like.
Or I guess
beard
it's a
it,
bar,
stab
so we
him.
could just kind of like be like hanging out in the bar. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he knows
I-
what I look like.
I guess I should make Gen get invisible, and then you and I can hang out in the bar.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I think it's a good strat.
All right. Yeah, make me invisible.
Oh, then I guess like to also stack the deck before we go there, like in those 2 days, be like, oh yeah, Mr. Beauregard, really awful that this political guy is like spying against you and listening into your conversations. I don't know what asshole would do that. By the way, here are the 2 like listening ends are the ones that we planted for you. And hand them over.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if they ever make noise, but
Okay, so
and
you
also
hand.
ask him for refunds for the money we had to pay for listening devices and the
true. Even though one of them is his.
Yeah, one of them is his, and I'll just quickly say so this looks a lot like the one that I had, but
It was on discount.
It was a discount. That's so
Yeah,
strange.
We got it at the thrift store, so maybe someone stole it from you and then sold it for a profit. That must be what happened.
Yeah. Maybe. So I'll say that. I'll say that because this is all a day before the meeting, I'll say that and it's in 2 days, I'll say this on the listening device within the middle of the second day before you go and visit. You also have a recording of some very kinky activities between him and let me just. We're good. Okay, we're fine. He
Oh, so
rolled
he
it.
continued being kinky with the 4 out of the 5.
The top 4 now.
Well, just only one of them. You don't know who. You can tell it was a female. This one, but you know, based off of what you experienced again. But I'll say that you don't know who it was. But I'll say you now also have a recording of that.
Sheesh, this guy's getting fucked. Literally.
Let's go.
Sheesh. So what is the plan? So Gen is going to be invisible
Invisible.
Yes.
in the bar. It is a very not small bar, but you've all been to Bronson's bar. It's it's not as good as the Greedy Tankard. Simple as that.
Shit.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty.
Their
But
fries are better though.
yeah, exactly. But sitting in the sitting in the corner, Millie coming along with you, right?
Yeah. So I guess
Yeah.
I mean my thinking is we get there early, like before we walk in. I make Gen invisible and be like, you have an hour. Slap. And then I'm gonna go post up like somewhere playing cards with people or something, and just kind of like keep a cat ear pointed towards Millie.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Kingsley? If you can interact.
Sorry, what?
Let's just make him play cards with Dayton or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're playing
we're
cards
playing
with
together.
TW.
To blend in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm drinking a hefty tankard and playing
Getting
cards,
fucked up.
and I'm cheating a little bit, but he doesn't know that.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, and so.
I can imagine that we're both cheating, but fucking Kingsley's just cheating better.
But Millie is there in the room.
5 aces. Sorry.
Is Millie there in the room? Like Millie's
Yeah.
coming along? Okay.
I think Millie, like, we tell her to like sit at the bar and do whatever she normally does.
Mm-hmm. So she sits in the corner of the tavern alone at a table, and as at the designated time of, let's say it's noon, she is sitting there, and then this guy wearing a cloak, which Gen, as you are standing however near you want to be, you can kind of recognize the general shape, and you can kind of see the face of Seymour Bronse as he walks in, but he's got a cloak and a hood up, so he's being very mysterious, and he kind of turns to the right and goes over to where Millie is, and they sit by each other, and I'd like, Gen, how close do you want to be to them?
I'd like to be close enough to hear if they're talking quietly. So pretty darn close.
Pretty close. Okay. Then I'll
Pretty darn
say,
tootin'.
yeah, I'll say, can you make a perception check for me, TW?
TW with the perception check.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say advantage because Kingsley's also listening.
Okay. I will do that. I want to make sure I don't have any weird cat things for sounds. I don't think so. I don't. Okay. You said advantage?
Yes.
Oh, that's not very good. Perception?
Mm-hmm.
That is a 13.
Not too bad. I'll say they are talking not somewhat quietly, like the tavern's being a tavern, it's kind of loud, so they are talking at a normal pace. But if you're trying to simultaneously play cards and whatnot, it's a little bit more difficult to hear exactly what they're saying. But what you can tell is that Seymour is quite upset. He's not He's not like pissed or angry, but he seems to be somewhat flustered. And what you kind of get the sense of, and I'll say, Gengen, you just fully hear this. He says, Millie, you better have good news for me because it has been an awful week so far. None of my speeches have been going well. There's been gaining support for this, you know, Ryan asshole. So you better have some good details for me.
Can I say that like when we prepped her for the plan,
Mm-hmm.
we told her that she had huge information that she had to tell him outside of the bar, so that like it was impossible for anyone to be over like listening to it.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
'cause that's
That
how
would
we have
make
to
sense.
corner him. That's how we have
Yeah,
to corner him, I think. So
I'll say that makes sense. She says in response to this, um, she says in response to this, she says, well, I, uh, I, I do have a very big information to tell you. I just, and she kind of looks around, like, you can tell that she's acting, but he seems to be buying it. She is looking back and forth. She says, I think, I think I should tell it to you outside. You still have your cloak up, so I don't think anyone will recognize you, but I'm worried about people listening in. And Seymour Seymour looks around as well, and he says, "Oh, well, fine. Yes, we can do it outside. I'm glad that you have good information." And you see both of them get up. Both Kingsley and TW. Both see them both get up. You're muted right now, TW.
I guess we maybe should have talked about this before jumping into it, but like retcon a little bit. Our
That's fine.
plan, Gen and Kingsley, are we like following him out and then like confronting him and be like, hey, like we have all this dirt on you, like don't run or your life's fucked? Is that kind of like our
yeah,
what we thinking or
I
what?
think my general
Yeah.
plan is to give him all of our info and basically say resign or we will
we'll
out
ruin
you
you.
to the entire public.
Do we want to? Would we? Are we planning on doing that like face to face with him or like? Are we giving her to give him a letter or something or what are you guys thinking?
I think you two do it.
I think we do it too.
And then
we can flash our rapiers and claws.
what I'll do is I'll time my going out the door as an invisible person with you guys so that like
No weird door stuff.
and then like I'll try to get on the other side of him from you as you two confront him if he runs. So he'll run into big invisible Gengen Senior.
Mm-hmm.
Being just massive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I like that idea.
Okay. I'll say that she leads him outside and to kind of just side to the building. So there's like an alleyway behind them, and then just the street. And there's some people milling around, but not too. It's not too busy. Most people are inside their houses since it's like noontime. They're eating lunch or something. And he, whispers to the two of them, and he's like, "What are, what's the big news that you have to say?" And she is kind of looking, and she says, well, the big news that I have to say," and I'll say that if you all have left by now, you see that they are talking to each other. What do you all plan to do?
Ready, Kingsley?
Yep.
All right.
Strut out. Hand on my rapier.
I'll be kind of like shoulder behind Kingsley.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Take it away.
Hello.
I'll be behind them to go out the door so that it's not too suspicious that the door is open a little longer because I'm invisible, of course.
Um,
Hello, Mr. Seymour.
and as we're kicking through the door and Kingsley's like rounding it to go, like kick us off, I'll kind of just like whisper behind him to him, just like don't give him a second to you know, get away from this, and gonna give you Bardic as well if I can.
Bardic.
Bardic inspiration.
Mr. Seymour.
Seymour turns around and says, yes, and he, kind of moves his cloak. Yes, what can I do for you, citizen? Yes.
I think this conversation should be less about what you can do for me, or what I can do for you. What you can do for me, hold on.
No worries.
What have you done?
No worries.
I think what you can do for me
Yeah.
is not what you want to do for me, but something you're going to do for me anyways.
He kind of stands up straight and he says, what do you mean?
You see, we know all about you and your friend Millie here, and your schemes, sticking your fingers and your ears in all these places.
Places.
And then am I carrying one of the things we found?
Can be if you want, yeah.
Sure, I'll pull it out. Say, recognize this?
He, his eyes grow wide as you're saying all this, and he says, "Wait, what do you want? What is the meaning of all this?" He kind of looks back at Millie. He says, "What do you know the things that I could do in this settlement? You know, the things that I could do, and the people that I could talk to get you very hurt. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to intimidate me?"
Are you trying to threaten me? And I sort of draw my rapier out. And I'll say, you see, this is what's gonna happen. You are gonna drop out of the race, and no one's gonna get hurt, and we won't tell the whole town about how you've been fucking with them, and turn them all against you.
Make an intimidation
Bronze,
check,
it's
please. Yeah. What,
and,
yeah.
and I'll just kind of like add to that.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of add that maybe to give Kingsley advantage
Yeah,
if I
advantage,
can.
Yeah.
I'll say like Mr. Bronze, we know you've been being unfaithful to your family, to your wife. We know you've been spying on the fine members of this town. We know, and I'm gonna point to Millie, you've been threatening your staff, and similarly to us just now, anyone you can get your hands on top of the fish markets.
And we have proof.
And we have proof of it all, and we will release it if you don't step down. This is honestly the best situation for you now.
And no one gets hurt.
So make an intimidation check with advantage.
I rolled. Okay, I'll
You
roll
still have the
again.
bardic if you need it.
And you do have a bardic.
I did roll a 19. So
Too easy.
19
I'd
total.
imagine Gengen's just like flexing
19
invisibly.
total.
I will say he looking at the both of you, looking around, he says, "So you want me, you want me to run out of the race, not be in the race anymore? What is this? Is this for that Ryan fellow? Is this? Are you working for him? What are you? Why are you doing all this? Why have you been looking into all this? Is there? I can
I think we shouldn't tell him that.
I can pay you more than whatever you're being paid right now. I can pay you. I'll triple it. I'll quadruple it."
I think we should tell him it.
Dude, that sounds like a pretty good idea.
I
I'll
am an
quadruple it.
occasionally honorable man. You see,
My-
I can't be swayed so easily.
Mr. 5 times at least. Mr. Bronze, I think we're bringing this to your attention for your sake. We could just release this information. We're giving you the opportunity to live within the town without your name being tarnished forever. That choice is yours.
You make a persuasion check for me.
I roll a 2, so 9.
9? Okay. I'll say,
I've-
I'll say he looks to you and he's looking at the rapier that you pulled out, Kingsley, and he says, takes a big sigh, says, "Well, gentlemen, I can appreciate that at least that you have given me the chance to step down. I give you my word that I will no longer be in the race. I will announce it tomorrow during one of my speeches. Does that sound like a good enough deal?"
I
Do we
suppose.
believe him?
And we, if that doesn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
we'll have all your secrets on the first paper into the town the next day.
I see. He says, "Yes, I understand. If you
Like
have
he's
that
lying right now.
if
Oh,
you
sorry.
have that kind of power,
Is he lying? Can we
yeah,
insight?
do an insight check for me."
Yeah, I'm rolling this shit. I don't believe a word out of his mouth.
Rolled a 16 plus 2, 18.
I rolled a natural one.
Well, he rolled a 3, so I'll say you, TW, you're starting to believe him, but you can look at Kingsley and you can tell that Kingsley does not believe Seymour because
Mm.
TW or Kingsley, you can see that there's kind of sweat on his brow, a little smirk on his face, as he's trying to scheme his way out of. He's just trying to get this over with right now. He doesn't want to deal with anything. He's just trying to get you to go away, and then he'll figure it out later. It's kind of the vibe that you get off of him.
How do we? I'm gonna look at each of my comrades and give him a little shake that I
So
don't believe him.
I'm still invisible,
Well,
and
I'll
so
just
You
look
see
at.
him shake.
I'll
Yeah.
look at.
You see him
I
shake his head.
but here's what I want to do. I want
Okay.
to choke him and lift him up into the air, but he doesn't know it's me because I'm invisible, and he's just like. Yes, I don't know how to communicate with you guys, and I want you to pretend like you're using the force on him. That's what I want to do.
Okay. You make a strength check for me.
Strength, God.
I'll say I almost said Gorgon. As
Gorgon.
Gengen goes to chokehold, lift
I
this guy.
rolled a nat 20.
Let's go.
Let's go, dude. Hell
Dude,
yeah,
it's
dude.
really funny because I've been rolling the die on my
D&D
Genghis
Beyond.
Kwan,
Oh.
which I made him have a -1 in strength,
Mm-hmm.
but my this Gengen senior has a +4 in strength. So it's just funny because it says I rolled a 19 because I rolled a nat 20 -1, but
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah, dude.
character dweeb.
Yeah, I'll say all of a sudden from both TW and Kingsley's perspective, you see the cloak that has been around his head kind of constrict in as he's suddenly his eyes start to bug out of his face, Seymour Bronse's face, and he's like, and he's just looking at both of you, and it's like, yeah.
I'll look between that and then Kingsley, and I will begin to say okay, Seymour. Kingsley has been very polite in offering this deal for you. I think you're not understanding the severity of the situation you are in, and there are two options for you. That is stepping down and living a normal life with the wealth that I'm sure you've accumulated over the years, the power that you still hold, or you can continue to choke on the air.
As you're saying all this, he's starting to get a little bit more desperate with, his arms. He's trying to move back, but Gengen Senior's arms are just so large and he's so wide that there's no way he
So
can get
big
around him.
body.
So big body.
Fucking tank.
And his eyes are, getting bigger and bigger as you saying all this. And he's trying his best to do a little nod, but he's tapping the arm as much as possible to
Okay, I'll
try
put
and
him down.
tap out. You let it go, and he goes, and he looks to the both of you, and he uh, looks around, and he just sees Millie standing behind her, just like behind him, just with wide eyes as well, just looking at whatever the heck just happened. And he says, "I I understand. I swear I understand. I you all." And he looks to both of you, says, "I I will remember this, but I will step down, and you know what? I don't want to be even in this town anymore. I'm rarely even here. I don't get why I would ever want to be in a town where I'm not respected. I'll just go to some other town and uh, run it from there. I'll take uh, all of my gear. I'll get out of town. How about that? Does that sound like a better deal to you?"
Sounds good to me.
I don't say anything.
Thumbs
I don't
up
say
to him.
anything because I can't give away that I'm there.
All your gear. Are you referring to all the listening devices that you hold?
He looks to you and says, "Yes, well, I own them. Of course, I can get the other halves back, and then I'll take them away. And I don't need to. I don't. Doesn't need to be a problem. You don't have to ever worry about it here in Bow ever again. You can stay here in Bow, and no one will ever listen to you. Who cares?"
Hey, do you think the listening device that we put on you picked up all that? Are we recording all that? I'm gonna kind of like say that in front of him to know that we've been recording the conversation.
He says, "You know what? Never mind. How about I just leave today? How does that sound? I'll leave
That
today.
sounds
How does
great.
that sound? I'll
Let's
leave today.
go.
I'll
Much better.
Yes, I'll leave
Now you're
today.
picking up.
I'll leave today. I'll leave today. You'll never have to hear from me again. Uh, God damn it. He looks so dejected at this point, but you have made your point, I'll say.
Or is that kind of are there any loose ends left to tie up?
Yeah, I'll say.
He's definitely leaving.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I would like try to stealth follow and make sure he
Mhm.
leaves, but like that can be kind of just like in the.
Yeah,
I don't need to play that all out.
I'll say, as the storybook closes, the next mayor of Bow is Ryan Beauregard. No one ever heard from Seymour Bronse ever again. Who knows? Maybe he's a recurring villain later in some other one shot in some other
Good riddance. For now.
city or town. But yeah, he is.
Film's so bad.
He has gone forever, and it's a great day. Fish heads aren't being stolen. Prostitutes aren't being mind controlled
Brainwashed.
or whatever
Emotionally used.
whatever's happening with them.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
there's a real deeper like mystery there that
Yeah.
kind of glazed over.
a lot, as you all are in Bow with even more of a fortune than you had before, and with a friend and higher powers within Bow, you live happily ever after. Yay! And I think that's where we'll end the session. Great job,
Oh yeah,
everybody. Great
that
job.
was a lot of fun.
Yes.